And good morning. It is Monday, July 29th, 2019. I'm Karen Greer.
Good morning. I'm Greer. And so we want to take a look at some of the top stories making headlines right now. More breaking news for you coming out of DeKalb County this morning. A SWAT situation coming to an end with 3 people in custody.
CBS 46's Daniel Wilkerson's off of Creekford Drive. And Daniel, this is a little unusual to have the SWAT team at the scene of this burglary.
I tell you, we don't normally see a burglary rise to the occasion to where they need a SWAT team. As you said, this SWAT situation off of Creekford Drive or on Creekford Drive has come to an end. The call initially came in as a burglary call, but again, the situation escalated to the point to where a SWAT team had to be called. And this is how it ended. Take a look at this video. It ended with 3 suspects, burglary suspects, crawling out of that home. I can tell you just shortly before that, the SWAT team used a robot to communicate with the 3 people inside that home. So from what we can tell so far, although we have not been able to confirm this with police, it seems that 3 people went into a home to burglarize it and they got trapped inside that home. We also understand from neighbors that the homeowners were out of town when this happened. So again, the news at this hour, a SWAT situation in DeKalb County in Lithonia with 3 people in custody. I will have a full report starting today at noon. In DeKalb County in Lithonia, Daniel Wilkerson, CBS 46 News.
Daniel, that is some dramatic video. Thanks for that. And more breaking news. At least 3 people are killed at a California food and music festival.
Police in Gilroy, California say the shooting began yesterday afternoon at the popular Garlic Festival. Our Adam Harding has been tracking the story all night long and joins us with an update. Adam, good morning.
Good morning to you. Among the victims this morning, a 6-year-old little boy. Police say the suspected shooter is dead, but the search right now continues for a possible second suspect. These were the gunshots that rang out late last night at a garlic festival in the city of Gilroy, which is about 80 miles south of San Francisco. Investigators today say the gunman was able to cut through a wire fence and break into the festival armed with a rifle. Witnesses say they heard upwards of 30 gunshots as a band was playing on stage. The band singer says he saw a man wearing a gray handkerchief around his neck. He heard somebody shout, "Why are you doing this?" And the gunman responded, "Because I am really angry." Police shot and killed the suspect within a minute of him opening fire. A motive right now is still unknown.
The first time I thought it was fireworks, and the second time someone from Ariat said, "Get down, active shooter," and I saw my peers go down and we all started running. And we heard it distinctly. I just didn't recognize it the first round. The second time I did, they were getting closer. So I just started running. I left everything and I ran.
At least 15 others were injured in this shooting. Some of the victims today said to be in critical condition. The FBI continues its investigation. Karen?
All right, thank you so much, Adam. Happening today, deliberations begin in the case of foster parents accused of killing a 2-year-old girl in their care. Jennifer and Joseph Rosenbaum are accused of killing Leila Daniel. They face 49 counts, including murder and child cruelty. The defense claiming Leila was choked and died from her foster mother's efforts to revive her. And CBS 46 is tracking a crime alert out of DeKalb County. Police looking for a missing 5-year-old girl seen here and her mother. No one has seen Amaya Blanton in more than a week. Police say her mother, Demisha Davis, was supposed to return that girl to her grandmother's home, but did not. Call DeKalb Police if you've seen either of them. Staying in DeKalb County right now, an accused killer getting out of jail not anytime soon. Over the weekend, a judge ordered Brian McGee to be held without bond. He is facing felony murder for shooting and killing a cab driver, Zenon Perez, who was found dead in his cab after it crashed into a tree near Sierra Hills Apartments. Greer.
President Trump announces who he'd like to take over as Director of National Intelligence. It's Texas Congressman John Ratcliffe. Last week, Ratcliffe defended the president as former special counsel Bob Mueller testified on Capitol Hill. If he's confirmed, Ratcliffe would take over for Dan Coats, who announced he's leaving his position next month. Meantime, President Trump is not backing down after insulting a congressman's district. Over the weekend, he tweeted about Maryland Congressman Elijah Cummings and the city of Baltimore. The president said Sunday that Cummings had done a terrible job for his district and the city of Baltimore. That came after the president's Saturday tweet that called the congressman's district disgusting and rodent infested and a mess where no human being would want to live. Yesterday on CBS's Face the Nation, White House Acting Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney said those tweets were not racist.
The president is pushing back against what he sees as wrong. It's how he's done in the past, and he'll continue to do it in the future.
Mulvaney said President Trump was reacting to Congressman Cummings' comments about conditions at federal detention centers at the border. Well, the woman who was tabbed to be the next governor of Puerto Rico says she doesn't want the job. Sunday, Justice Secretary Wanda Vasquez says she hopes outgoing Governor Ricardo Rosselló will appoint a Secretary of State before resigning on Friday. Vasquez is next in line since a former Secretary of State also resigned after the leak of an obscene and offensive chat insulting women and victims of Hurricane Maria.
Turning now to Campaign 2020, tomorrow 20 Democratic presidential candidates will face off in the second primary debates. Now, these debates are going to play out over 2 nights from Detroit, Michigan. And some harsh words for Georgia's election system. Friday, a federal judge said state officials allowed the system to grow way too old and archaic. A current lawsuit's pushing for the state to immediately replace its current touchscreen voting machines for ones that print a paper ballot. Now, election integrity advocates say the current machines are vulnerable to hackers. Lawyers for state election officials say it would be too expensive and chaotic to use an interim system this fall. Earlier this year, Governor Kemp signing a bill that will implement a new voting system next year.
All right, I know it's just July 29th, but children and educators in 4 Georgia counties are already in class today. It's the first day of school. Schools in Ben Hill, Macon, Rockdale, and Terrell counties are in session today.
Time now to check in with Rodney for a look at our weather for these kids.
Yeah, nice day today. Another hot day in Metro Atlanta with temperatures reaching into the low 90s. We have high pressure that is nearby, but it's the clockwise flow around this high that's going to bring the moisture back in off the Atlantic. As you recall, last week we didn't have as much humidity, and as a result it was drier. It felt really pleasant, but that changes this week. We got the moisture coming back, so you'll feel that in the afternoons, and that will also give us a slightly higher chance of rain here for much of the week. So here's a look at Futurecast at lunchtime. We're good to go. But as we head toward 3 o'clock, some isolated showers and storms possible. Your rain chances today are at 30%. So on the low end of the scale, but it's not impossible to see a stray shower or storm. That continues for 5 o'clock today. And then once we lose daytime heating, the chances of rain will go completely down as we head toward tonight around 11 o'clock. So there's also an air quality alert that is in effect for today, a code orange. So for those of you who have issues with your lungs, also for the kids and for the elderly, try to avoid staying outdoors for too long today, especially during those peak heating hours in the afternoon and early evening. 90 degrees your high today, a 30% chance of rain. We'll keep that in your forecast for Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll bring those rain chances up slightly as we head toward the end of the week. And that is a look at your forecast.
Rodney, thanks a lot. Thank you for joining us, too. To get updates on all the stories we're following and news throughout the day, just download our free CBS 46 News app.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.